everyone, and welcome to another episode of Reel Me In, a movie podcast, where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where I talk about anything, everything, and, well, anything about movies. I'm your host, Chase Lee, and you know what? I'm going to dedicate this episode to all the fathers out there because it is Father's Day, and I'm recording it on Father's Day. I love you, Pops. I will see you right after I get done recording this. So let's get this started. I don't want to waste anyone's time because, you know, it's a busy day. It's a busy day here on Father's Day, and I have to mention this because out of 83 episodes that I've done this shitty show, I have finally done it, guys. I have a video version of this podcast. I know what you're thinking. You don't want to look at my face and all my hand motions and stuff while you know, while you're listening to this. I understand that it's a preference. So now, if you are listening on Spreaker, you are listening to the audio version. If you want to watch the video version of this podcast, then the link will be in the description below, and that goes to my YouTube page where you can watch the video version. Now, if you are on my YouTube subscriber list and you are watching this Google Hangout, recording this thing live, you can actually, if you're watching this live, you can comment in the place where I upload my face, and you can talk to me while I'm doing this. And same goes for Spreaker if you ever listen to this live. So if you're on my YouTube side and you want to listen to the audio version of this podcast, link will be in the description below. I know it's all kinds of fucked up. It's weird. And you know, I do this thing by myself, so I'm engineering. I have a bunch of tabs open. I have a Google Hangout open right now, and I have my Spreaker going at the same time. So I have two broadcasts going at once. It's mind-blowing. It gets inside your mind and your emotions go wild. Ooh, is that a hint on today's show? That was dumb. That was a terrible intro. So today's episode, guys, we're going to go over a bunch of movie news, trailers. I'm going to give you my thoughts on Inside Out and Pixar in general, and box office results for the weekend. And you guys will be shocked at what was number one. Not really. I think you all kind of knew, but it's still kind of shocking to me. And then, of course, I'm going to close this thing out. So let's get this thing started. So movie news. This is so weird. Like I said, it's really weird, guys, because I have my Spreaker page open right here, and I have my Google Hangout right here. So I'm doing like multiple things at once. It's fantastic. But don't worry. I won't make you cry too much. All right. So the first piece of news this week was that Forrest Whitaker is joining Star Wars Rogue One. It's the first anthology film from the Star Wars saga, if you will. And I like it. You know, Forrest Whitaker is the type of guy to where, like, if he's in anything, he's pretty great. And I was going to make a lazy eye joke, but it's Father's Day. I'll let it slide. But it is noticeable. Like, when he's acting, you know, he's got, like, I think it's his right eye. It's, like, closed half the time. But so no lazy eye jokes here on this podcast. But no, Forrest Whitaker is the type of actor to where, like, he brings it. Like, he is a force, and he's got an Academy Award. Last King in Scotland, I believe that was the movie. So I mean, he's an Academy Award winner. Him being in a Star Wars movie just solidifies the fact that Disney knows what the fuck they're doing in terms of casting, in terms of their Marvel, Star Wars, voice casting for Inside Out. Like, it doesn't matter. They're great with casting. So Forrest Whitaker in a Star Wars movie, sign me up. I'm all good to go. But you guys know that I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan. So this is mainly for all you people that are Star Wars fans. The next piece of news, this is no fucking shock to anyone. Anna Kendrick and Rebel Wilson will be coming back for Pitch Perfect 3. The thing is about this story is that, yeah, the actors are coming back because, you know, Universal probably just went to their house and, like, you know, here's a truckload of money. You're going to come back? And of course, Anna Kendrick and Rebel Wilson, as much as I love both of them, they have nothing going on right now. So if you're offered a shit ton of money for a third movie in your trilogy, you would take it too. So they're coming back, but there's no director attached. Now, Elizabeth Banks, she has produced all three of them so far, and she actually directed the second one. I have not seen the second one yet, but I really like the first one. So I'm actually really curious to see what kind of director they're going to get for this franchise. So yeah, I'm actually more curious about that. But them coming back, I don't know their storylines for number 2, so I can't really justify if coming back is the right idea for their characters. But as far as them being the face of the franchise, you damn straight, son. So them coming back is perfect for Pitch Perfect 3. So I'm just actually curious to see who's going to come and direct it. So, we'll see where we go from there. The next piece of news is that Thomas Hanks, everyone, this guy is one of the greatest actors in history. He's just good old Tom Hanks, man. He's just good. And so anytime when he's in a movie, you best be excited, boy. That was extremely I don't know why that came out of my mouth. All right, so Tom Hanks, the last movie he was in was in 2013's Captain Phillips. From what I remember, was he in another movie after that? I don't know. I don't remember. But I remember he was in Captain Phillips. In the last 10 minutes of Captain Phillips, it shows us that Tom Hanks is like one of the greatest actors in history. Like that last 10 minutes of Captain Phillips, for all of you that have seen it, I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't, but if you've seen the last 10 minutes of Captain Phillips, oh dear Lord, can this guy act? Like that's basically like all those like Tom Hanks doubters out there, which I'm sure there's a fan club somewhere in like Georgia. The Tom Hanks haters out there, like that last 10 minutes of Captain Phillips will make you shut the fuck up because he's class act. I mean, this is the guy that won Oscars back to back when he did what was it? Forrest Gump and was it Philadelphia? Those are the two back to back. Either way, he's one of the only actors in history to do back to back Oscars like that consecutively in 2 years. Because there's a difference when you win one and you win one like 10 years later. No. Tom Hanks literally won Best Actor for one year, and the following year he won it again. What the hell? So, but those are two great performances. Anyways, Tom Hanks is in talks to play Captain Sully in Clint Eastwood's Captain Sully movie. Now, for all of you guys that remember Captain Sully, he was the guy that landed the plane, I believe, into, was it the Hudson? It was in some large body of liquid water. So we're going to go with that. But anyways, the event took place in like 15, 20 minutes, and it really wasn't that long. So my question is, how are you going to make this into a movie? Like, are you going to show the before? Are you going to show his life and then lead up to the accident? Are you going to show the accident first and kind of like what follows afterwards? Like, how are we going to spin this story? Because the actual event, like I said, only happened 15, 20 minutes. So how are you going to do a 2-hour-long movie? Now, the story is fascinating, and I'm willing to see it. But Clint Eastwood is kind of like, not the red flag, but kind of the yellow flag. You're kind of cautionary. You're just like, whoa, Mr. Eastwood, I love you, buddy, but you're kind of falling off the beaten path a little bit. What I mean by that is, like, the last few movies he's directed, I wave my hands in the air because it's like they're so-so. Like, they're not anything spectacular, but they're not anything bad either. The last one he did was American Sniper, which caught everyone off guard and made a shit ton of money for Warner Brothers. I didn't really care for American Sniper. Yeah, there were some things in it that were cool, like the cinematography was good, and Bradley Cooper did give a really great performance. But I just thought it was so over the head with propaganda. Like, it was like a Tomorrowland. It would just beat you in the fucking skull until you're bleeding out, and they're just like, do you get the message? Yes, Warner Brothers, I get the message. Thank you. So I don't know. He's kind of a hit or miss for me, but I mean, he's made some great pieces of cinema, whether he's an actor, a director, or a director and acting, or a director and actor in that movie. He's one of the best. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It's Tom Hanks. Let's do this. So that's it for the news this week, guys. It really wasn't a news week. It's more of a trailer week. So leading into that, let's talk about some movie trailers that dropped this week. I'm looking at my list right now. There are 9 of them that dropped. That's a lot. I think last week there was like 7 or 8 of them as well. So, dear Lord. All right, so let's start with the first one, The Stanford Prison Experiment. This is from IFC, the Independent Film Channel. This is the story of where they took the kids and they put them in the prison scenario where like half of them become guards and half of them become prisoners, and they kind of like, it's like a psychological test to see like how they do in terms of what role they're playing, and it's very fascinating to see these kids who are guards like really beat the shit out of these prisoners. It's like, whoa, this isn't a fucking test anymore. Like, people are getting hurt, so like, and abused and mentally scarred. Like, it's crazy. And you know, the trailer, I thought it was an okay trailer. Like, I really want to see this movie. But as far as it, like, I mean, it was fine. The best part about the trailer, I think, was at the beginning when they were like interviewing the kids to see where they could go in terms of being a guard or being a prisoner. So I thought that was kind of fascinating. I don't know, it was an okay put together trailer, but as far as the movie goes, I'm excited to see it. But the trailer was like, it was so. So that's the first trailer. The second trailer is called Captive, and stars Kate Mara. She's from House of Cards. And then David Oyelowo, who was the guy who played Martin Luther King Jr. in Selma from last year. He killed it in that role. And the reason why I bring this trailer up is because, in a nutshell, without spoiling anything, Kate Mara, she's held hostage by David Oyelowo. I mean, that's basically it. And I kind of dug it. I really liked the trailer because I was fascinated to see Oyelowo do something different, like a complete 180 from Martin Luther King Jr. Because let's face it, that's a hell of a role to step in and then go into this crazy psychopath holding Kate Mara hostage. So it was just so weird because I literally saw Selma like 5 months ago, I think. So it was just strange. It was a strange time for my viewing of that trailer. So it looks cool. I mean, I'm excited to see Oyelowo take his career to the next level. I mean, because he's been an actor for a very long time, but I think Selma really solidified his stamp in Hollywood, and I think this one will just show us what kind of range he's got. So I'm excited. It kind of looks like No Good Deed from last year. That was the one with Idris Elba, and he played the psychopath stalking Taraji P. Henson. I probably fucked that name up, but that's okay. She's not listening to this. So Captive looks kind of cool. David Oyelowo, show your range, buddy. I'm glad that your people are finally knowing who the hell you are. So the next trailer we'll talk about is The Secret Life of Pets. All right. It's more of a teaser trailer. Essentially, this is the Toy Story version for pets. And what I mean by that is the trailer, all it shows is their owners leaving their pets while they go off to work and stuff. And these pets are, watching TV and causing chaos around the apartment or house or whatever. So that's essentially what the trailer is, just a bunch of animals back to back to back, just showing their crazy antics while their owners are gone. It looks cute. It looks funny. The voice casting is not bad. It's got, I think Louis C.K. is one of the voices, and I think he was the dog at the beginning of the trailer. I could be wrong, but Louis C.K. as a dog is pretty much perfect. But it looks fun. Sure, I'll buy it. I mean, like I said, it's a teaser. You don't really see much. We just kind of see crazy antics of what pets do. It's basically the Toy Story version of Pets. Looks fine, and it looks like something the kids will enjoy. Yeah, there you go. The next trailer is Hotel Transylvania 2. This is the sequel to Hotel Transylvania. Duh. And that's the animated movie. Basically, this hotel filled with the Wolfman, the Mummy, Dracula. It's just a hotel where all these like monsters, the classic monsters, kind of go to, and they all hang out and stuff, and crazy antics ensue. Yay! The first one wasn't bad. I actually kind of dug the first one. It was a nice father-daughter movie, and I really liked it. The voice casting is basically the Happy Madison crew, which means we got Adam Sandler, Kevin James, Steve Buscemi. Who else? I think David Spade was one of them. So basically Adam Sandler's crew. And, when you watch the first trailer to the first movie, you think to yourself, holy shit, Adam Sandler doing a Dracula impression for 90 minutes. Please shoot me in the dick right now. I do not want to endure this pain. All in all, he was not bad. I actually really enjoyed his voice acting. It was some of the best work he's done in a long time. And a children's movie. So, unlike other children's movies, Jack and Jill, what the fuck was that? So, Hotel Transylvania 2 basically picks up right after the first one. His daughter is grown up. She has a child, and he plays more of the grandpa role in this one. It looks fine. There was a couple funny moments, but I think that was the reaction I had from the first trailer. It was kind of like, I mean, it looks like the kids will like it and stuff. I don't have kids, by the way. I mean, kids in general will like it. Wait, do I have kids? Oh, shit. No, I don't, guys. Calm down. Calm the fuck down. I'm a reckless 25-year-old. Do you think I'd have kids? But then again, have you seen the youth in this country? So I had the same reaction I did from the first trailer. From the first one, was like, it was okay. But I really enjoyed the movie. So I think I will go see this movie, but I don't have like high hopes for it or anything. I'm just hoping it'll be a nice, entertaining sequel that will have like a good kind of story like the first one did with the whole father and daughter thing. So it was cool. I had a couple funny moments. So there you go. The next trailer, another animated movie, Kung Fu Panda 3. This is not a trailer. This is a teaser trailer, and I do it in air quotes because this is literally only one scene. It's one scene, 1 2-minute gag, if you will. That's all it is. Basically, the trailer is Po, played by Jack Black. He's a fat-ass panda, and he sees another fat-ass panda, and they go, hi, I lost my dad. Hi, I lost my son. Okay, bye. Like, it's basically a stretch-out gag. You know what's funny is, like, as soon as the gag started, I was like, oh, no, it's one of these fucking things. Like, it's gonna be bad. I kind of smiled a little bit. It was actually kind of funny, even though I knew where the end game of that joke was because it's been told a million times. So, you know, DreamWorks, let's have a little heart-to-heart. I've never been like the biggest Kung Fu Panda fan. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I mean, they're fine. They're entertaining. My favorite DreamWorks movie or franchise, hands down, has been the How to Train Your Dragon series. That has been my favorite DreamWorks series, followed by Shrek. Those are the only ones I've ever liked from DreamWorks. Everything else has been kind of, hey, there it is, and it's gone. But I've never been a super fan of the Kung Fu Panda series, even though I think Jack Black voicing a fat panda is pretty great voice casting. So Kung Fu Panda 3, like I said, it was not a trailer. It was just one scene, and it was okay at best. And it was like I said, it was kind of funny. I smiled. But the thing that kind of strikes me as odd about this movie is that it's coming out in January, which is like the shit bowl of movies. Like, why is it coming out in January? My theory is maybe because DreamWorks has been kind of sloping. I'm not going to lie. Even though I love How to Train Your Dragon 1, 2, and Shrek, they're making a lot of money, but not as much as, you know, like a Pixar or like a Disney animation or, hell, even fucking 20th Century Fox's Blue Skies are making more money than them. I think them releasing in January gives them a little bit more edge. Yeah, it's the toilet bowl month of movies. Let's face it, January is that month. But I think releasing in January, you have the advantage of dominating that month for kids. As far as I know, that might be the only animated movie to come out that month. There might be another one, but I think that might be the only one. But I think that's the advantage, is that you can strike in that month, be one of the only kids movies, and dominate. So in a business sense, it's smart. Releasing in January, just as a spectator, is not smart. But then again, I'm not running DreamWorks. I probably run it to the ground even more than it already is right now. So Kung Fu Panda 3 trailer, not really a trailer, just a scene. The one plus I will say, I've liked the voice casting in the Kung Fu Panda franchise, but Bryan fucking Cranston, man, he's playing Poe's father. That's great. Like, he sounds like a panda. He sounds like a panda already with his like low bassiness of his voice. And when his voice was coming out of that character in the trailer, I was like, Bryan Cranston, you'd be a really cool panda one day. So it's like, that's great, man. Great for getting Mr. Walter White himself. So the next trailer I want to talk about is Sicario. This is the movie directed by Denis Villeneuve. I totally fucked that up, but guess what? That's about as close as anyone else is going to get to that name. So Denis Villeneuve, he directed Enemy and Prisoners, which are two probably of my favorite movies in the 2010s. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, he's a fantastic director, and both of those movies blew me away. So Sicario stars Emily Blunt, Benicio del Toro, and Josh Brolin. And Sicario in Spanish means hitman. So this is basically like, you know, cops, espionage, and just a bunch of shit goes down. Emily Blunt is playing the main character. I am super stoked. I've always been a fan of Emily Blunt and her comedic stuff and her action stuff. And I'm really excited to see her take a main role and really just, because this is going to be probably one of many film enthusiasts in their top 10 list. No doubt Sicario is going to be in there. So I think this movie will just solidify why Emily Blunt's awesome, why Denis Villeneuve is a great director, and it's just going to be one of those movies where people are going to talk about. And I'm really excited to see it. The trailer's really cool. It kind of starts out with Emily Blunt. She goes on this investigation, and things get really sticky. And then it's just a bunch of clips of people like, you know, what the fuck are you doing? And it's like, I didn't do anything. I'm going to come after you. I'm going to backstab your ass. Like, it's just one of those type of trailers, and you just get that like kind of heightened sense of suspense, and you're just like, oh shit, oh, this is really great. So Sicario looks awesome. If you guys have not seen Enemy or Prisoners, do yourself a favor, watch Enemy, be scared of spiders, watch Prisoners, and be fearful of people abducting your children. So it seems like Denis Villeneuve just loves to scare the shit out of you in one way, shape, or form with something. So Sicario looks sick. I cannot wait for this movie. I think it comes out in October, so check it out. It looks like it's going to be an Oscar contender. The next movie I want to talk about is Daddy's Home, starring Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. This is a comedy where Will Ferrell is a stepdad to Linda Cardellini, and the real dad is played by Mark Wahlberg. And I'm not going to lie, it looks kind of funny. It looks like it could be entertaining at least. And this is not the first time they've been together. In 2010, they came out with The Other Guys, which I thought was a pretty funny movie. So, I mean, yeah, it looks funny. I mean, there's really nothing more to say. Will Ferrell is a stepdad. Mark Wahlberg is a dad. And antics ensue. I mean, that's basically what you can say about it. So there you go. And I'm sure the opening scene is gonna be something like, "Hey, Will, how you doing over there? Hey, so you taking care of my kids now? You the stepdad? Well, that's really fucking cool. Hey, I'm gonna kick your ass later. I'm way cooler than you. I'm Mark Wahlberg. I'm an actor. How you doing? This is gonna be way better than Transformers 4. Like, he's gonna do something where like he's gonna be talking really fast, out of breath, like to Will Ferrell, like, "Hey, piece of shit, how you doing over there? Hey, did you know I was in Ted? Did you know I'd like to play with teddy bears? I'm a terrible parent. That's why you're the stepdad, and that's why I'm the dad. How's it going on, Mark Wahlberg? Say hi to your mother for me, okay?" I mean, it's gonna be really funny. So Daddy's Home looks like a pretty fun, good time. So there you go. Next one is Dark Places, and this is the one starring Charlize Theron. Theron. It sounds like a fucking warrior, like back in the day. It's like, Theron is here to slice your dick off. So it also stars Corey Stoll, which I'm a huge fan of. Ever since I saw the first season of House of Cards, that guy has been on point with everything. And I cannot wait to see him as the villain in Ant-Man. And we also have Nicholas Hoult. And who else was in that? Oh, Ty Sheridan, my boy. Now listen, I don't brag all the time, but I got to brag about this. Ty Sheridan came to the Dallas International Film Festival, not this year, but last year for Joe, the one starring, Nicolas Cage. I'm going to take your face off. And anyways, he came down for interviews, and me and Christina Crenshaw, we interviewed him, and he took a picture with us, and I was like, I can't wait to see Ty Sheridan blow up in his career. And fucking, he's in X-Men, he was in Joe, he's in Dark Places, he's even in the Stanford Prison Experiment movie that we just talked about. So, dude, the kid's blowing up. I'm really cool. Not really cool. Well, I am cool. Not really. But I'm really glad that I took a picture with him, because it's like, I'm really excited for this kid's career. So, Ty Sheridan, if you're ever listening to this, you're one of my favorite up-and-coming actors ever since I saw you, my brother. So, keep it up. But Dark Places, it's from the based on a book from the writer of Gone Girl. Ooh. So A24 is releasing this movie. I fucking love you, A24. please keep making movies because you're badass at them. But basically, from what I can get from the trailer, Charlize Theron, little girl, witnesses her brother murder her family. She escapes. She's older. Her brother is in prison, and she doesn't think her brother did it, or if he did. Like, they're going back and forth on who did it and who's crazy and all that shit. I'm just excited for Gillian Flynn, whatever how you pronounce that. I'm a huge fan of Gone Girl. I love what David Fincher did with that movie, and I can't wait to see Dark Places because I've not read the book. Just keeping it real here, folks. But the trailer looks cool. I love the talent involved, and I love Corey Stoll. He looks like he's gonna play like one sick son of a bitch, man. Like, the end of the trailer is Corey Stoll and Charlize Theron like talking in prison during the visitor time or whatever, with the glass in the middle, and he's just like, and she's like, oh my god, I don't know. It's a really good scene. Corey Stoll, awesome. Can't wait to see Dark Places. And the last trailer I want to talk about. Oh my god, this fucking trailer was depressing. Not because of the subject, because of the subject matter, but it's because it's Robin Williams, and this is his last I think it's his last performance, and it's called Boulevard. Basically, this is a guy who's been doing the same mundane things for his whole life, and he wants to spice it up. So, he just starts getting into things with another person, and he goes on an adventure, basically. And the trailer was fine. I'm really excited to see one last hoorah from Robin Williams. The one thing I hate about the trailer, why on fucking earth would you... The trailer was like Academy Award winner Robin Williams. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And then afterwards it says his last final dramatic performance. Why? Why do you have to fucking say that? We know that he's gone. Like, it's sad. It's depressing. But do not fucking market it to your advantage like that. Like, his last final performance. Like, no, don't do that. Just say Academy Award winner Robin Williams and show clips of him doing his thing. Like, why on earth do you have to do that? Other than that, the trailer's fine. It looks cool. I'll be very interested to see how this plays out in the Oscars for this year with the ceremony of next year and Golden Globes and stuff. I'm wondering if he's going to get a posthumous Oscar or whatever. I don't know. We'll find out. But it looks really, really cool. Just don't put that in the fucking trailer. So that's it for all the trailers, guys. If you have any comments on the trailers or the news that went over, comment in the place to rub on my face and let me know. All right, guys, let's get into the meat of this podcast, and that is Pixar and the movie Inside Out. Now, I saw this movie yesterday, and if you go on my YouTube channel, I have my top 5 favorite Pixar films. It is on there. Search for it. So I won't go into my favorite ones here. You can find that video on my YouTube page. But what I can tell you right now is that Pixar they're the ace. They're the ace in animation. Like, everything they've made, for the most part, so there's a couple, Cars 2. I've not seen Brave, so I can't comment on it. They hit home runs, like, most of the time. And I remember when I was 5 years old and the first Toy Story came out, I was so blown away by the imagination and just the magic in that movie and the relatability as well. That's what's great about Pixar, is they know how to really hone in on relatable things. And just, they tug at your heartstrings, man. They fucking hate you. Pixar hates you. They want to drive their hand into your heart, palpitate like in fucking Dumb and Dumber. And they want to pull it out, make you look at it and go, you see this? This is what we're doing to you. Fucking Pixar, man. They love to toy with your shit. So anyways, Toy Story came out when I was 5. I really liked it. And, I grew up like with Andy in that movie. I had toys. I thought they came alive and stuff. And, growing up and letting go was the theme of the third one, which I can totally relate to because I was 20 when that movie came out. Andy was 18 in the movie, and he was partying with his old toys and, growing up and separating, but still keeping those fond memories inside your head. I kind of felt like I was doing the same thing, and I was like, I fucking cried in Toy Story 3. I've cried in most Pixar movies. Sue me. Fucking sue me. So, Pixar just had a home run most of the time. Bug's Life comes out. I really like Bug's Life. Kevin Spacey as a grasshopper. Fuck yeah. Toy Story 2 comes out. Amazing sequel. Monsters, Inc. I remember watching that in theaters. It was fantastic. I loved Mike and Sully's chemistry. I love Billy Crystal and John Goodman as the voice acting in that. It's just, they're so funny and they're so charismatic. Then we have Finding Nemo. It's a really fun movie. I really like it. Let's see. Finding Nemo was 2002 or 2003. Then we have The Incredibles, which is a really great, fun superhero movie, especially for kids that really want to get into the superhero genre. I think that you should start them on Incredibles, and maybe they can move to stuff like Marvel and DC. It's a really great family movie. Then we have Cars. I like Cars. It's very enjoyable. Then we have Ratatouille in 2007. I really like it, and Patton Oswalt playing a fucking rat, man. It's great. Especially if you're like an inspiring chef, like you'll like want to continue your dream after watching that movie. It's really great. WALL-E in 2008. I like the first half of WALL-E. Second half, not so much. It's very preachy, but I love the first half. I love it when it's all silent and WALL-E's just kind of exploring Earth. 2009, did they have something? I don't think they did. 2010 was Toy Story 3. It's actually my favorite one out of the three. I know it's weird. It's weird. All fucking three Toy Stories are gold. So it's like, which gold's the shiniest? It's fucking ridiculous because all of them are, in my eyes, are perfect movies. Toy Story 1, 2, and 3, it's one of the best trilogies ever made, hands down. Toy Story 4, I'm not too particular with. I don't know anything about it, but I just know, like, once they announced it, I was like, okay, I trust you, Pixar. Just please don't fuck it up. So after 2010, 2011 was Cars 2. 2013 was Brave. Oh, no, 2012 was Brave. Sorry. I did not see Brave. That's the only one I have not seen. I heard mixed things on it, mostly bad. And, of course, 2013, we have Monsters University. I actually thought it was a pretty enjoyable prequel. It wasn't like the first one at all. Let's get that straight. But I really liked it. It was a really fun, entertaining movie, even though some of the stuff negates what happens in Monsters, Inc. So, whatever. Story aside, I know it's weird to say, but because story should be everything, which it should be. But as a fun college movie, it's actually pretty funny. And then afterwards, 2014, they didn't come out with anything. So in 2015, we've reached Inside Out. And later this year, they actually have The Good Dinosaur coming out this Thanksgiving. But we're here to talk about Inside Out. Inside Out. When I went to the theater to see Inside Out, I was sitting there. I looked around. I was the only one without anyone. I was by myself. I don't have any kids. I don't have a girlfriend or anything. I'm not married. So it's like I was sitting there by myself, and everyone around me was a family or a couple or stuff. They had kids. And so I was sitting there getting ready to prepare. And I was like, you know what? If I fucking cry in this, I'm not going to dip my head to my hand or anything. I'm not going to do anything weird. I'm going to fucking let it show because I'm a fucking man. And if Pixar wants to make me cry, I'm going to fucking cry in the theater. I don't give a shit who's watching. So first off, I think every time I've reviewed a Pixar movie, I've always reviewed the short that comes along before it. This short that comes along before Inside Out is called Lava. And it might be one of my favorite ones they've ever done. Like, it's really good. It's all this is a volcano that's, kind of lonely, and the whole short is actually played through a song. It's actually a song describing what's happening, and I thought it was really catchy. It was just really good and very kind of powerful. And he eventually finds a little volcano to make love and have little volcano babies with, and I liked it. It was really good. It was really smart, simple. It was a nice little song to it and good animation. It was a really good short. So I really like the short to Inside Out called Lava. So let's break. You guys ready? You guys ready for the fucking meat of this podcast? All right, let's get inside it. Ooh, did you see that pun right there? Let's get Inside Out. All right. So it's directed by Pete Docter. And now Pete Docter, he is known in the Pixar world, most notably for Up. So thank you, Pete Docter, for fucking ripping my heart out and stepping on it like fucking mincemeat and putting it back into my fucking chest. First 10 minutes of Up, man. I promised I wouldn't cry on this podcast, but I might fucking do that. So, Damn you, Pete Docter. Damn you. Anyways, Pete Docter directs this one. And it's got the voice casting of an Amy Poehler. She plays Joy. We have Louis Black as Anger, which fucking genius. Phyllis Smith from The Office. She played oh my god, I'm fucking blank. Office is one of my favorite shows. Did she play Phyllis? Yeah, she played Phyllis because that was one of the actresses and / actors that played a character with her name. A lot of them did that in The Office. Yeah, she plays Sadness. Mindy Kaling, who's also from The Office, and the Mindy Project, she plays Disgust. And we have Bill Hader from Saturday Night Live and a bunch of other movies playing Fear. Kyle MacLachlan. Holy shit. He plays the dad of the little girl, Riley. I've been a huge Kyle MacLachlan fan for the longest time. Ever since Twin Peaks, Blue Velvet, he is... he's a Lynch buddy. He's a Lynch mate, if you will. He's always in David Lynch's movies and projects and stuff. I've just always liked Kyle MacLachlan, man. He's a good actor. I kind of want to meet him one day. But anyways, he plays the voice of the dad. I forgot who plays the voice of the mom and the child. Sorry. All right, so let's get into the story. Let me start off by saying this. This is probably Pixar's most simplest story they've ever done. Like, it's the most bare bones thing they've ever created. But they tell it in such a creative and fresh take that I think it makes it more powerful than if that story was done by any other animation studio. So what's the story? So Riley is 11 years old. She's in that awkward time where it's like she's not a kid anymore, but she's not a teenager. It's like the tweens or whatever, if you will. Her parents move. She takes all of her memories with her and of what she had at that place, and they go to the new place in San Francisco, and she's from Minnesota. That's it. And we see the fear, we see the joy, we see the sadness, we see the disgust, and we see the fear inside Riley on just what she thinks about this whole moving thing and taking this life that they built in Minnesota and moving into San Francisco. That's all this movie is. We just see the thought process of Riley as she is experiencing a different change in her life when she moves with her family. That's it. I can't even dive into the story anymore. Yeah, there's some things I don't want you to know about because I want you to experience this movie. But for the most part, that's the story. It's just Riley moving. That's it, man. Like, it's a simple story, but what I really like about it is that we really dive into the emotions. The one thing Pixar has completely nailed in most of their movies is that they can really hone in on relatable emotional content, where it's something where you see it on screen and you go, holy fuck, I witnessed that. I have felt that in my life. This is nostalgic for me. I'm getting the feels, man. Getting the fucking feels, Pixar. They are fantastic at doing that. So, like, for instance, Up, first 10 minutes, very emotional. It's like taking the emotions you felt from Up and applying it as a fucking movie for an hour and a half. That's what Inside Out is. It's an emotional ride the whole entire time, where Pixar loves to toy with your emotions, so how about have the emotions as the fucking main characters? That's what this is. And it's... a lot of people are saying this is an adult movie. I agree with them. I think this movie will play more to adults. And if kids are watching, I think it's important for kids. Because when kids are, 5, 6 years old, they don't really have the thought process of an 11-year-old, which is, you have mood swings like a motherfucker. Let's just call it like what it is. You have mood swings when you're a teenager. You have mood swings when you're in your 20s. Like, I think this is an important movie for kids because it'll make them... get them prepared for that time where it's like, that time is scary. It's frightening. It's happy at times. It's sad at times. But in the end, you will get through it. It's okay. It's part of life. It's part of growing up. And it's part of experiencing life and having your mind expand into these emotional states. That's just the way it goes. So I think this movie is really important for children because it's basically a psychological psychology lesson for children and the way emotions work in their minds and the way emotions work in adults' minds. It's like sitting through an endurance test of psychological proportions. I'm telling you, like, it's so good in that regard, because it really, if you don't know much about like minds or memories or whatever, I think this movie does a really good job showing you how the mind works, how your emotions work, and what core memories are like, and how they branch off and develop your personalities. I think that's fantastic. It's very, very smart. And I think that's why Pixar really succeeds in this movie. And I think it's a masterpiece. I really do, because you take a story like a kid moving, and yeah, you can show them crying and stuff. You can show them being angry. But why not go inside their mind and show them the conflicting emotions that they have while growing up and with this situation going on at the same time? It's fucking genius. And I think Pixar really nailed that on top of the head, man. It's fantastic. So in terms of like the story, it's super simple. In terms of the message and like what it's actually going for, I think adults will like it more, but I think it's really important for children. And plus, it's got a lot of funny moments, so I think the children will like it. And there was a lot of funny moments where I laughed out loud too. So as far as the message go and the story and the directing, this thing is top notch. This thing is firing on all cylinders. It is one of Pixar's best. It might be their very best. It just might be. Because listen, when you make a movie, you don't have to make your story super complicated. You can make it as bare bones and as simple as possible. But if you deliver it in such a way that gets you emotionally, personally, and if it's actually technically a well-sound movie, it's going to seem like far above the rest of, like, you know, DreamWorks or 20th Century Fox or whoever makes that type of movie. It probably wouldn't hit as hard, because we've all experienced times in our lives as kids where we feel sad at some points. We feel disgusted, angry, fearful, happy, conflicting back and forth. It is super relatable on that point. I think that's why adults will understand it more than kids. But like I said, it's important for kids. So the directing, the story, and all that stuff, and the message, that's what I think about that. So let's get into the acting. 2012. I remember me and my brother saw Wreck-It Ralph. And when we got done watching the movie, I was like, that was a really good movie, and I really hope it wins the Oscar, which it didn't. It went to Brave. Anyways, after I got done watching Wreck-It Ralph, I told my brother, I was like, that was the greatest voice casting in a movie I've seen in a long time. I loved John C. Reilly's portrayal as this big, lovable oaf as Wreck-It Ralph. And, you know, Jack McBrayer, he plays Fix-It Felix, and Jane Lynch, she plays the one of the commanders in one of the video games. And we have Sarah Silverman playing the little girl in the movie. And it's like, this was genius casting. Inside Out is another example of how great voice casting is. Amy Poehler as Joy is so great. All five of them do great, but I think Amy Poehler just she brought it to the next level. Because it's like when you have a character named Joy, of course she's going to be very joyful, she's going to be very happy, but Amy Poehler brought the extra pizzazz to it, if you will, and it stepped up into another level where, like, I couldn't even see these actors in a recording booth somewhere in Los Angeles. I saw these characters, and I gotta tell you, Lewis Black as Anger has got to be one of the best voice castings in the history of animation. It is so good. I love Lewis Black to a point where, like, every time he spoke in that movie in Inside Out, I just want to laugh, because I was like, I'm imagining him in the recording booth, like, because one of the lines from the movie is, or the trailer, a piece of pizza is shown with broccoli, and he's like, congratulations, San Francisco, you've ruined pizza. So I can imagine him, like, in the recording booth, like, congratulations, San Francisco, you ruined pizza. Like, it's it's so great. Like, he probably had, like, the best time recording his lines. Like, first the Hawaiians and now the San Francisco. This is can I say that curse word now? Like, he was so great as Anger. Like, if I had a little anger emotion in my head, like, running around looking like a fucking Tetris piece, I would imagine voiced by Lewis Black. Oh man, it was so great. Mindy Kaling does a good job as Disgust. Bill Hader does a pretty good job as Fear, and Phyllis Smith does a really good job as Sadness. At first, her character is kind of unlikable. You're just like, fucking Sadness, get out of here. But she's Sadness. You're kind of supposed to hate her because she's so sad and moody all the time, even though we all experience that as humans. So yeah, she was kind of unlikable, but everyone else was very likable. I loved just the way everyone was portrayed. But their voice casting was great. They were all funny. They were all emotional. They all had heart when they were supposed to have heart. And there was one point, oh man, when there was a part in the movie where Joy was like sad. And it's like, Joy is crying right now. Oh dear Lord. This is so metaphorical for the way Riley's feeling right now. It's just another genius scene. And like I said, all these emotions that are happening right now, I kind of took it as like, this is what's happening in Riley's head right now. So all these characters, all the emotions, whatever, what they are doing in the movie, we're basically just feeling, we're basically thinking and feeling and hearing what Riley is feeling, thinking, and hearing. And I think all these emotions voiced by these great actors and great talent, it totally worked. I totally bought into it. And really just probably that's what our emotions probably look like in our head, running around. And, you know, we can relate to that because we're all human. We all feel emotion and stuff. And that's the thing. If you do not feel anything from this movie, yeah, you may not cry. I understand that. But if you at least don't feel something, then you are not human and you're a fucking robot, or you are just a sack of flour, man. You're just a bag of flour in a kitchen somewhere. Because this movie is so relatable and it hits you in that core, man, on what it means to be human and what it means to be growing up. And these emotions capture that perfectly. So, like I said, the voice casting, fantastic. So cinematography, since this is an animation movie, for this section, I will kind of just focus on the way it's animated. I really liked the world building in this movie. And it's not really a world, it's just someone's mind. But that's the best way to put it, is like, it's a great world building movie. It's like, for a child to understand the way minds work, I think this movie does a great job explaining certain things. And I think them watching this movie, it'll give them like a more colorful and kind of creative interpretation, as if like a doctor was telling you, like, this is how the mind works. Just put it inside out, and a child could probably grasp what a mind looks like and how it functions and stuff. It's great. So the world building in this movie is so beautiful. It's so great. And I have to point out the emotions. The way the emotions are animated, it's really unique. Joy, played by Amy Poehler, like, she's yellow, she's bright, she's glowy, and her skin's like very pixelated. And it's like that totally fits with their character. For Anger, Lewis Black, he's a small red square that has like constant coals burning on his head because he's always angry, and he flames out when he gets super angry and stuff. So little details like that on certain characters it was just fantastic. Like, the attention to detail in every Pixar movie is always breathtaking, especially with the animation, how the characters are, how the environments are. Now, Riley and her parents in the human world, yeah, it's like a typical Pixar movie, but you mainly want to see it for the way the mind is interpreted. And I think it's beautiful animation. It's just attention to detail. It's so prevalent in this. Like, Pixar takes care of their movies animation wise, and this one is no different. It's so beautiful. I did not see it in 3D, so I don't know how the 3D is, but if you saw this 3D, please comment in the place where I'll upload my voice and let me know. But yeah, as far as the 2D screening went, I thought it looked great, and there was a lot of depth to it already, so I'm assuming the 3D just adds even more depth. So yeah, cinematography / animation looks great. The editing and the pace, it's an hour and a half. I would say the first 15, 20 minutes are very fast-paced, and they get you kind of like in the mindset, pun intended, of this movie, and like the way these characters and the emotions are going to be brought up and stuff. And then, you know, when the movie takes its first major plot turn, I can see kids getting really bored. I know it's really weird to say, but like I can see them just becoming very bored of the film when it hits that certain point and kind of carries onward. I really enjoyed the entire thing, but so as adults, I think they'll enjoy it a lot more in terms of story, characters, relatability, and the pace of it. I think kids will kind of see it as boring because it's not the funniest Pixar movie. There's a lot of humorous moments in there, and I was kind of like chuckling pretty hard at some of them, but there wasn't like as I was like in the screening, like every time a joke would happen, I would be laughing, but no one else would. And it's like, okay, so kids aren't laughing at this, other adults are way older than me aren't laughing at this. Like, am I messed up? In my mind, I don't know what's going on. So, so your kids might, if you have kids, they might feel a little bit bored, a little tired out when joy and sadness go on their adventure. But I think with all the colors and stuff, your kids will enjoy it. I'm not saying your kids are simpletons and all they need is colorful images to, keep them entertained. I think this is a very smart movie for children. I think if they understand what's going on, they'll kind of get into it. But if not, the characters in the animation will definitely let their imaginations run wild and really just kind of take them into this magical world, so to speak. So overall, guys, this is a fantastic, relatable story. It's super simple, but hits you in your emotional core, especially if you grew up like that or if you're just human in general, because we were all kids once. We all experienced conflicting mood swings and emotions, and I think this movie really just hones on the fact that we are human, we have emotions, we have to grow up, we have to let go. We can hold on to certain things, but for the most part, we have to let go of certain things in our childhood, and we have to become an adult. And I think Pixar just hits the nail on the head on this one. Great voice casting, very funny, very relatable, has a lot of heart to it, has a lot of weight to it. Great story for adults, but important for children, and important for children to learn about psychology and how the mind works, emotions, and core memories and stuff. I think it's great for them, great for adults. It's entertaining, it's thought-provoking. Pixar, you crazy motherfuckers. This is one of their best movies ever made. It is one of my favorite movies of the year. It's right now at my number 2 slot for top 10 of the year so far. It's just a breathtaking experience I think you need to endure and let yourself cry. It's okay. We're not going to judge you. So Inside Out, I think my grade for it will be I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Fuck, man. This is what happens when you do these things live. I conflict. I'll do 9. Yeah, I'll do 9. I'll do a 9 out of 10. I think it's a good, solid score. I can't just... For some reason, I can't say it's perfect. There's a couple of things in there that were kind of thrown in there to be thrown in there. I understood why they were being thrown in there, but some of the plot points, they kind of detour the story just a tad. So that might be why I downgrade just a little bit. But guys, this is a fantastic fucking film. Please go see it. So 9 out of 10 for Inside Out. It's one of my favorites of the year. It's great, man. It really is. So, have you guys seen Inside Out, or what's your favorite Pixar movies? Comment in the place below my voice and let me know. So with that being said, let's get into the box office results for the weekend. Pulling the tab up here. All right. All right, so coming in at number 5 was Dope. This is one of the movies that came out this weekend. I actually really enjoyed Dope. I think it's a really kind of fresh movie. Like, it's a movie like you don't really see much anymore, and it's really funny. It's really well acted. I really like the story and the message with it. And the message is, doesn't matter where we come from in life. It doesn't matter the color of our skin. You can still chase your dreams. There shouldn't be any racial prejudice in this country, but people judge people that are in the hood and stuff. And I think this movie totally fights that stereotype. And it's like, no, I'm me. I'm not from the hood. I'm not a gangster. I'm just me. So I think it was a great message in that. I gave that one a 9 out of 10 as well. It's a really good movie. This is a great weekend for movies. Dope and Inside Out. So number 5 was Dope with $6 million. Its budget is unknown, but I think it's pretty expensive because Sony acquired the rights to this, and I think it was a lot to do in terms of marketing and stuff. So I think they're might lose some money, but I think $6 million for that type of movie is not bad. So yeah, good for it. Number 4 is San Andreas with $8.2 million. Right now, domestically, if my internet will stop being a hoe. Okay, so domestically, San Andreas has got 132. Worldwide, it's got 385, and I think its budget was 110. So you double that, 220. This is a very profitable movie for a standalone Dwayne Johnson movie. So good job, man. I haven't seen it yet, but I probably will see it eventually. So there are your numbers on that one. Number 3 is Spy. It came in at third with $10.5 million. Oh, that's a huge drop off. Domestically, it's got 74. And worldwide, it's got 130 on a budget of probably 60 to 70. So it's probably either breaking even right now or it's got a little bit of profit. But this is actually one of the most least successful Paul Feig directed movies with Melissa McCarthy. His Bridesmaids made my internet will stop fucking up. Right. Bridesmaids made $288 million worldwide on a $32 million budget. Huge profit margin. The Heat made 229 worldwide. Wow, it's practically the same fucking number. Jesus, I didn't realize they were that close. 229 million worldwide on a $43 million budget, so very successful. But as far as Spy, it's it's doing okay. So number 2 is Inside Out with $91 million. Not bad, Disney, Pixar, like. Holy shit. And I think the budget was like 130, I think. So if you double that, 260, we're looking at to break even. I think it'll definitely do it, especially worldwide. But domestically, just in the U.S. and Canada, first weekend, 91, almost 100. Dear God, that's amazing. So good job, Inside Out. I absolutely love you. You're one of my favorites of your company. And please watch the top 5 on my YouTube channel, and you'll see where I placed Inside Out. So good job. Number 1, you guys guessed it, was number 1 last week with $208 million. This week, Jurassic World made $102 million. So it dropped off a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. No, I was looking at the numbers. It dropped 50%, roughly 51%. So $102 million. Oh my God. So in 2 weeks, domestically in the US and Canada alone has made almost $400 million. It's made $398. Ridiculous. Worldwide in 2 weeks, $713 million. Oh my God. That is incredible. So, whoo! Jurassic World, number 1 with $102 million. Inside Out, number 2. Spy, number 3. San Andreas, number 4. And Dope at number 5. Check out Inside Out and Dope. They're fucking dope and fucking rad. So that will do it for this week's episode, guys, of Real Me and Colin, a movie podcast. If you guys want to follow me on Spreaker, you can click that follow button. I'm also on iHeartRadio, so you can find me on there as well. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at RealChaseLee. If you want to like my Facebook page, it is facebook.com/RealReviewsWithChaseLee. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube page, it is youtube.com/Shabunik75. I'm also on We Live Films YouTube page. I do a segment on there. It's Can't Breathe Comedy. I also write for Dallas movie screenings. And yeah, that's about it. So if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, that's where the video version of this podcast will be. If you want to follow me on Spreaker and only listen to the audio version, Spreaker is where you go for the audio portion of this podcast. But I will have links in the description on my For the YouTube video, I will have the audio-only version of this podcast, and on my audio version of this podcast, I will have the video version, so you can mix and match and do whatever the hell you want. But no one listened live. Well, I had a couple people listen live on Google Hangout, but no one asked any questions. No one has asked any questions on the Spreaker, so I'm going to go ahead and sign out. You guys are awesome. Have a good day, a good night, whenever the hell you're listening to this. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I'm Chase Lee. Tune in next week for episode 84 of this horrendous podcast where I'm going to review Ted 2. And yeah, that's about it. So I'll see you guys next week for another episode of Real Me and Colin, a movie podcast. Please share this around, like it, comment, share it with people, and tell them that this podcast is fucking awesome, and spread it around like a disease. Well, at least a good disease. So I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye. You guys are badass, and happy Father's Day.